We want to bring in Caitlin Huey-Burns. She's a CBSN political contributor and a national political reporter for RealClearPolitics, and she is joining us from our Washington bureau. All right, Caitlin, let's start with the president's wiretapping claim. He says he has evidence that he'll be releasing very soon, just as soon as the House Intelligence Committee says it has not seen any proof to support his claim. What are you hearing from lawmakers?
Well, there's kind of a sense of frustration on behalf of lawmakers, particularly Democrats, but also Republicans, because they have a lot on their plate that they want to get done when it comes to health care, when it comes to the budget, and also, of course, when it comes to investigating the alleged connections between the campaign and Russian meddling in the election. But what's really interesting here is that the president has few allies on this claim. Devin Nunes is not only the Intelligence Committee chairman, but he was also a key ally of this president. He served on the transition team committee. And so it's really interesting that he is saying, of course, that there is no evidence that they've seen. And also you have Democrats questioning the credibility of this president. Having made this claim, they say that his credibility is in jeopardy going forward.
So the president was asked last night about the impact of tweeting allegations without proof in an interview that he did with Fox News. Let's listen to how he responded to that, and then we'll talk about it.
From people who support you, who say, look, I support Donald Trump, I believe what he believes, and I want him to succeed badly, but if the president says something that cannot be proved or is demonstrably untrue,
well, let's see whether
he devalues his own currency.
Let's see whether or not I proved it. You looked at some proof. I mean, let's see whether or not I prove it. I just don't choose to do it right now. I choose to do it before the committee, and maybe I'll do it before the committee. Maybe I'll do it before I see the result of the committee. But I think we have some very good stuff, and we're in the process of putting it together, and I think it's going to be very demonstrative. But just on Twitter, if I don't do that, I won't get my word out.
So you heard what he said. He said, look, this is the only way I can get my word out. But there was a suggestion that there's potential impact here. Part of it may be on his own reputation. What do you think?
Exactly. As Nancy alluded to in that package, this is not, of course, the first time that the now president has made these kinds of claims, put them out in public without providing the requisite evidence. Now, he says that things will be coming out, but if you talk to lawmakers on Capitol Hill, they're wondering what that evidence is. And so I think this again brings into question, as Tucker Carlson alluded to in that interview, of the president's credibility when it comes to other things. I think it also underscores the fact that what you say, Donald Trump said a lot of things on the campaign. Now he is president. Anything that you say, of course, matters, has a magnified effect, not only here, but also globally. Anything that you say, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's through a speech, whether it's through a couple of characters, everything you say has to be taken literally if you're the president of the United States.
All right, Caitlin, let's turn now to the president's travel ban. A second federal judge, this time in Maryland, has now blocked part of that ban, and the ruling came hours after a judge in Hawaii put the entire executive order on hold nationwide. So talk about the politics surrounding this. At what point does it become untenable for the White House to continue to try to push this policy through?
Well, when the White House unveiled the second round of this about 10 days ago, it was really interesting because they're trying to actually kind of have it both ways. On one hand, they said, look, this is pretty similar to the first one that we unveiled. On the other hand, they were saying that we've tweaked it a little bit so that it can pass muster in the courts. And so now you're seeing, and we saw the president last night during his rally in Nashville talk about how this version was a watered down version of the original. So he might be kind of getting in his own way a little bit here when it comes to the courts. Another interesting thing to consider, too, is during the first round of this, the president and the White House talked about the importance of having this done right now. And in the second round, they gave a several days leeway time. So I'm wondering kind of how they parse through this and how they talk about the need to have this implemented immediately, as they have said that they wanted to do before.
All right, Caitlin Huey-Burns, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.